It would be a lot better if I had an upgraded computer. And GoPros, but no funds at the moment. I mean, I'm in such a position that I can't even buy the video editor that I'm using. No funds to keep my bank accounts activated. But what I have been able to manage is 2 meals and a shelter for the next 5 years with minimal expenditure if it has to go that long. But who was talking about time anyway? This is a dream, remember? Another 5 years is not possible. But what's possible is to see what is possible, is to do what is possible, and to do it the best way that you possibly can, and create your mark of existence. Which means to let your personality be widely known, the same way that many philosophers have made their mark. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about in this video is how we changed 3 houses since my birth. I mean, since it looks like the house is generally where the problem has been arising lately. Because it's not in the house, it's around the house. It's not in the mind, it's around the mind. So that's a good thing. But since this is where the mind rests, and if it is not as restful, then I would say the surgeon has arrived. Brain surgeon? I don't know. How about a mind surgeon? So anyway, I will show you the TDS of this house from the water unit. I've got a TDS meter and we can check that. But let's get started with how we changed 3 houses until now. Let's talk about each. And the need for more than one house is a necessity, I would say. How is it going to be possible? Don't ask me that right now. But I know that it is necessary based on many factors so that a lifestyle can be crafted around that which can make you skip the chaos and head directly into the good parts only. So here, when I'm walking back, I know there is a woman following me. She wants me to look at her and probably make it look like we are having a conversation. But my senses tell me that she has only come to analyze my reactions. And I know so because she says something I don't. Know whether she's talking on the phone or pretending to talk on the phone. But that tone has hidden layers, and I tried to transcript what it meant by slowing it down and slowing it down just a bit. And can you notice what I can notice? What I can notice is that although they can't remove my mask, they want me to look at them so they can transfer their negativity upon me. And I don't know how that works or how they think that they can do that, but I'm a repeller of such energies. Okay, here. Okay, here. I've put the camera inside my carry bag because I make it very clear as to when I'm recording and when I'm not, so that I can get them to show up, because they have improved and do not want to come directly in front of my chest cam anymore. Do I have to change my tricks as well? So what happens is I always avoid looking at the security counter when entering or leaving. But somehow they want to have an eye contact with me. And every time I'm returning, the security woman stands on the wrong side, especially when I am without the camera, and that she comes directly within my vision. And when I'm entering, if the bar is open, then another car enters, which aligns my walking path directly in front of her. Now, why are they doing that? We can leave room for some thought. But that's only when I'm without the cam. And the moment they are sure that I'm without a cam, then the manager decides to join as well, to show up. And he must, because he is the supervising person. He is supervising the security woman to do that part. And you can see my friend here knows everything that's going on for the last 2-3 years now. And I feel protected with its energy. It gives me this Bagheera vibes. Calm, comforting, and intelligent. I wish I could take it for a spin with some new friends in an SUV and make it a cherishable moment of gratitude and thankfulness. I don't know if that day would ever come. I think they are not able to digest the fact that I'm unemployed and not married, and that's still okay with me. But of course, no, it isn't. I sure am not happy with to be unemployed. But also, I want to do only the things that I'm interested in doing. And marriage, I think there is time for that. I find the manager like that dragon in Mario, trying to block my way. Because he looks like no one else but a body shamer to me. And I have things to talk about him too, but we will do it as and when time passes, and let's see where I can fit him. But what they want to do is induce negativity and create false data. But I'm not only a repeller of such energies, but I can redirect that negativity inwards on them, since that's where the source is. And I think the level of skill required for such understanding should be extraordinary, not like lucid. It's impossible to be completely lucid. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't make sense in a society. What makes sense is to observe whether other people are using their senses correctly. Because this is evolution, you see. You twist your finger over there, And if the universe does not like your move, then be prepared to receive another twist elsewhere. We are going to identify the cause for humanity. Has anybody tried that out yet? But it's possible now that you can share your opinions out like this. It was possible a long time ago, but I think we endangered ourselves by being selfish and not looking through. I think the cause of humanity is to support oneself more than anything else, and to then support the greater intelligence, not in a selfish way, but in the most kindest way possible.
करो कौन सा है बटर स्कॉच थैंक यू
I don't know what Dad was thinking when he got this house for us. Because earlier we were in the suburbs, and prior to that, we were in the central, in one of the most urbanized localities in Baliganj, I think it is. Yeah. And I was a child back then, and I remember my brother wasn't even born yet. Wasn't even born. And this is the part where a car follows me and stops right behind me, in the same way those women tried to provoke me. Notice the car, white body, black side windows. I mean, what's the guarantee that someone wouldn't stab me and drive out the back gate? But anyway, I'll leave that up to nature, because I can only do as much as I can, and the rest is faith that I need to have, I suppose. My brother wasn't even born, and he is 4 years younger and is now married and well settled in Bangalore. And they have a duplex house on the 20th floor, which I think is quite cool. I will talk more later on. But I was never a fan of taking a mortgage, and probably never will. Anyway, so our first house we owned was a house right behind an ice cream factory. So thoughtful of my dad to think of that. And I thought I was lactose intolerant a few years ago, but recently I found out I'm not lactose intolerant. How cool is that? Allergic to something else, but anyway, we can talk later on that when we are talking diet. So the house behind the ice cream factory, it was a 2-story house, but only the ground floor was ours, which had 2 bedrooms, hall, kitchen, and on the top floor belonged to another owner. Now, my dad wanted to buy that top floor as well, and that's where the mistake was, I think, to think of it. Because what happened was my dad gave the money without receiving any paperwork and thinking he had a good relation with the top floor owner, but that owner cheated my dad by taking the money also sold that property to someone else and ran away within one night. And those new owners were like gangsters. Over here, you can see the same car parked right, right on my walking path, visible to them. White body, black side windows. It was Dad's fault because his life lessons, I observed, were mostly about trust. So, I mean, Dad was broken then. I never saw him speak properly to anyone after that, even though now it's been over 35 years since then, and I get overwhelmed when I think of it. I just hope nothing troubles him.
रोल अभी के लिए नहीं हो रहा है, बाद में होगा। अभी मैं ऑर्डर करूँगा, ऐसे तो करते रहता हूँ मैं कभी कभी। प्लास्टिक हो गया ना।
So obviously we couldn't live there because then there were safety issues with those guys and I suppose we had to sell that ground floor house to someone else, or my dad sold it to the top floor owners. I don't really know about that till today, but anyway, let's not think about that right now. But we moved out of there into a village which was which had the best tarmac roads, and that made a great cycling track for me. But then I was also put into a boarding school which was far away deep in the hills, which would make, I think that would make another episode on its own. I enjoyed the cycling track when I had my school break, right? That was a long time ago, and the holiday break is quite long over there. Now finally over here you can see, or you can notice again, there are two women standing around where I entered the building. Again with those pretentious vocal tones, which I could analyze. But I'm going to let it pass for now, because my footsteps are too loud. Generally, there is 9 months of school and then 3 months vacation. So during winters is when I was in the plains, in the village. I mean, we had a great time there, and the rest of the year was back in the hills in school. And what I wish is that I could buy that same house again that we had in the village. Because now, after staying there for maybe 15 years, I think it was, and not of all of it, but the lengthy power outages is what made us shift from there.